Hello, this is Captain Poodle speaking. Are you ready to find love?
Yes, ahoy, matey.
Love.
Do-do-do-do.
Exciting and new. Go online. They're catfishing you.
Shocker.
Fiancé.
Soon you'll be flying to parts unknown.
90-day fiancé.
Marrying someone you only met on your phone.
Be they French or Chinese, a brand new K1 visa's the key.
Ooh, the key to what, Poodle?
To love.
It's reality gaze. Let's love. Poodle just told me something for like the third time, and I said, "You've told me that already. You can't start forgetting things because then I'm fucked because that's what I do."
You're right. My grandmother did that, and my mother would go, "God, it's another." She told me that story again. Can you believe it? And now she does that.
Yeah.
And I said, and you'll tell her. You're like, "Yeah, you did tell me." She'll just keep going.
Well, you're going to hear it again.
No, she doesn't even say that. She just ignores me. She just keeps going.
Oh, golly.
You know what? She needs to get her talking out. So
We all are getting forgetful. All getting forgetful. It's
this
just
is a
happening.
very sad way to open. This is reality gaze.
Like a bridge over troubled waters, I will vape with an attorney.
That was one of the saddest displays.
Y'all, we're going to be honest. We're not going to talk too much about ourselves, but Poodle's had a day. He had fraud.
Fraud on my card.
And we started this and we sat down and he said, "Oh," I said, "Let's talk about this." He's like, "Yes." He's like, "This episode that wasn't good." And I said, "Are you kidding? This was the best season, our best episode of the season." And I started listing everything. And then
you're right.
And then he got kind of gay and excited about it because he remembered.
Well, honestly,
it's like that dick that you're like, you haven't slept with that guy in a year. And then he comes back to you and you're like, wow.
I forget about that dick. Yeah, well, the thing is, I was doing this, and it was one of those days where you don't even have 5 minutes. And and I was like sitting down there watching the show, like playing Beat the Clock, like how quickly I can get this done before we need to do it.
I've been there.
But
usually it's because a trick's coming over and Poodle's trying to get it watched before he says he's coming over.
Usually.
At 9:00, which means he'll be there at 9:20.
More like 10. They're always late.
Does a hookup ever show up on time?
No. When they do, it's actually very disarming.
You're like, you're still like, have a butt plug up your butt, loosening up. Oh, hey there. Hi there, fellas. Didn't expect to see you.
I'm still sitting up. I'm still setting up the sex sling. And getting the whips out.
Yeah. Y'all, it looks like before Poodles has sex, it looks like that scene where they're covering the dragon and Pete's dragon at the end. It's like a blanket. They're going, "Here, over here, George. Oh, catch it. I got it, Roy. Heave ho, heave ho."
You're ruining people's childhood again.
We need to move on. Y'all, this is season 6, episode 7, Troubled Waters.
Troubled Waters. What is that? Is that in relation to every story? Or maybe Troubled Waters is probably Elizabeth and Andre when they're out on the boat.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
We're on a boat.
We're on a boat. Before we jump in, I want to clarify, because we mentioned this and some of you have gotten confused. So we are talking about 90-Day Foodie Call. We are not doing an Instagram live, so you don't have to worry about, oh my God, am I going to be there? And not. No, we filmed some stuff. We're editing it right now. Sissy Christina is editing it. Is doing that, and we're putting it up for your pleasure. It will live on forever. You do not have to be live. We're just putting it on Instagram in our reels.
For a minute, when you said we filmed some stuff, I thought, what did we film? And I'm like, Did I film something? That's how busy the week has been. And I was like, wait, did I send them private things that I filmed?
You're out of CBD too. It's not good.
No, I have some. I just haven't opened the new bottle that I have.
Tonight might be the night. So we just want to let y'all know that is, this is something we've never done before. And it's something that we're kind of being picky about.
It was nuts.
It's gonna come out. We just wanted to build anticipation. We said that the same time. Anyway, I just want to make that announcement. And
I was cooking, y'all. I was cooking.
Yeah,
I made fuck soup.
It looked like hairy balls in a soup, and
I cooked.
And I will say this: yes, Poodle says he hates to eat on camera. He kept eating this soup over, and
I was so hungry.
And it was so good.
You know what? I forgot I was on camera. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed.
Did you freeze any of it for me so when I come back after taking care of my dad, I can have some?
Let's move on.
Great. Y'all, it's June, and y'all know what that means. Hey, it's gay pride. It's gay pride. We're gonna get gay and suck some dicks. We're gay.
Yeah, that's all the gay pride is about to you. I'm glad.
No, it's not at all. It's not at all. It's not at all.
You need to wear tiny belly shirts and prance on a parade.
Buy all your underwear at Nasty Pig.
Remember when my neighbor downstairs had a pair of Nasty Pig, and I was just like, oh my.
Oh, did they say Nasty Pig? I thought they said something like breed me.
No, they said Nasty Pig. That was his underwear.
I have a friend who wears them that says they're very comfortable underwear. And I went,
yeah, I bet that's why you get them.
I bet. Anyway, no judgment. You know what? If Nasty Pig sponsored us, I would wear their underwear with pride.
I go,
you would too. Wait.
I don't know if they want us making pig noises.
But they would. Poodle would do it. They'd do a Nasty Pig shoot.
I don't know if we're their ideal client.
No. But it is Gay Pride, and we want to be sure to talk about our new charity for the Sissy Squad this month.
Yeah, which is the Ali Forney Center in New York City, which is basically helps LGBTQ youths basically overcoming homelessness and gives them tools to deal with all the problems of homelessness and living on the streets, and then gives them tools to get out of homelessness. So, yes. And I think the statistics of LGBT youth, and especially trans youth who are homeless, it's like you're 4 times as likely to be homeless or something like that. It's ridiculous.
So it is 4 times. Suicidality is also it's 4 times as well. The Ali Forney Center was actually, I want to look at the year, but it was one of the first kind of LGBT youth organizations in the country.
Yeah.
That really
Ali Forney was a person, and he was, I believe, a non-binary.
Yeah, he was 13.
Yeah, when he was kicked out of the house, and he advocated. They advocated for equality, and advocated for other people, other trans and non-binary youths who are on the streets, and they found them like shot in the head.
They were shot to death in
18 or something like that.
17 in Harlem.
And Carl Siciliano, the founder, named it for him, and put that in his memory.
I want to look at the year. This was only founded. This shows you. I just want to remind people even though there are some, honestly, the lack of places we have, because again, LGBTQ plus youths are going to have a higher chance of being homeless. This was only founded in 2002. Yeah. So yes, it's been around for 20 years, but it's only really been in like the last 20 years we had. And I know this from personal. There's LifeWorks. That's a great homeless youth center in Los Angeles. And y'all, personally, this is where I did a lot of my not at the Ali Forney, but working with kids that were homeless, LGBTQ youth that were in foster care. I remember I had one kid who was these kids. It's different when you're giving an example. It's different when you're queer. So for this one kid, he was Mexican American, or his parents were from Mexico, and just a bad home life. Went into the foster care system, and so you're thinking, okay, this kid, they're going to be able to match him with a good family in Los Angeles. This is a big system. Well, because of his because of his race, they just assumed it would be better to put him with a Mexican American family.
Yeah.
And this was about when I was in school, so this was like 14 years ago. As you can see with what we've seen on 90 Day Fiancé, just with Kenny and Armando, some of the ideas of he bounced around. He went to 12 different foster homes, and most of the reasons he left every foster home, and this was between the ages of 6 to 12. He went to, I believe it might be 13.
Lord.
And he went to those different, and a lot of them were because he would go to these different families, and none of them would accept his LGBT, except he was identified as gay. None of them would accept that because they were Catholic or their culture.
Yeah.
So finally, he ended up going into LifeWorks, which was a homeless center that works with foster youth that are queer kids, and they ended up working with fosters and aligned him with. And at 12 years of age, he got adopted into a family that he tells us, because I worked with him a lot in we had an advocacy group, and he tells a story about how he said, I knew this was my mom and my dad because when I told her I was gay, she said, "That's great, honey. Let's get pizza and celebrate."
Oh.
And he said, and I never thought that a parent would say that to me in my whole life. So I know that was a long story, but I have a personal connection to working with kids that are in this situation. And I think I don't have any personal connection with the Alley Forney Center. I want to make that clear. We're not raising something that we're involved in. But anyway, you really are giving to a truly organization that is just changing the lives of so many kids that were never given a chance, even in the current system. Anyway, off soapbox.
So one other thing we need to talk to you guys about, y'all, Smothered premiered this week. Season 3 premiere of Smothered. There are 3 new mother-daughter couples.
Yes.
And 2 of them are definitely disturbing.
As I call smelling tooth crazy. That's one thing I can equate it with.
It's the $8 tier on our Patreon is definitely the cringe tier. We've got Extreme Sisters. I don't know what I'm going to do between Smothered and Extreme Sisters, because I think Extreme Sisters has probably got at least 2 more episodes.
I think it goes to 8, yeah. So there's going to be some overlap where you're just going to feel nauseous pretty much all week.
I had a hard time with the at-home insemination talk.
Oh, I thought you meant I've had many.
No, I was fine last night with my at-home insemination. That was perfectly normal, complete with the GIMP masks.
Ooh, y'all, it is.
That's more normal than the mom inseminating her daughter without telling her wife.
Or the mother and daughter who critique each other's sex tapes.
That's fucked up.
It's fucked up. It's good. We're excited for this season. The first 2 episodes, as per usual, are going to drop on the free feed. And then after that, it's going to jump into the $8
Patreon.
$8 Patreon.
Roll tape.
South Africa. We're heading to South Africa, ladies and gentlemen.
Again, Scottish accent.
By the way, y'all, if you're watching
South Africa.
If you're watching this in our intimate portrait, we want to remind you we're remote but goat.
We're remote but goat. You can see my lovely new curtains.
They are pretty. It's better than the cardboard box you had taped up to your wall.
And you can see my lamps in the background and my archway.
And your trash can with the Target bag in it.
What's wrong with that?
It needs
repurposed bags.
It needs to go somewhere else.
What's fine with it?
You have a metal desk office trash can in the middle of your living room. Get a pretty trash can.
It's not in my living room. It's behind my couch.
But we literally,
You know what? Don't
no
you just
one
use the term "pretty trash can"?
no
Fuck
one
off.
no one comes into your space that goes behind your couch
I got
because they
a
go.
lot of people coming in my space.
Well, they go straight. They go straight to your bedroom. However,
Exactly. I just grabbed their hand.
even though there are dozens and dozens, eventually will be thousands of men that come through your new apartment, there's still going to be more listeners at home that are going to watch this on Intimate Portrait and see your trash can there.
Y'all come at me if you like my Target trash can. I'm fine with it.
Come at him with pretty artful trash cans. I just think you would like something. Poodle he's really into a tree theme.
Listen. Also, I'm in transition for putting this apartment together. I would love some grace.
That's true. I got to call the housekeeper for you tomorrow.
Oh God, leave me alone! You're in Oklahoma. Fuck off.
I'm not. I'm in Texas, y'all. By the way,
it's the same.
Y'all,
it's the same.
It's the same. Father's doing well. He's out of the hospital. I'm here with him. We are expected to go back to Oklahoma on Tuesday. Stem cell went well. He's doing fine.
This is the first time that anyone's ever wanted to go back to Oklahoma.
I like being in Houston. I love Houston.
That's what I'm saying. We should move on to the show. It's like 45 minutes and we haven't gotten to the show yet.
And Ronald. But we just this was the announcement
called "Oh Tiffany."
Oh, the tears of Tiffany.
No, that's Tears of Kalani. Get it straight.
This isn't "Oh Tiffany." By the way, this is the announcement. I bet you're thinking of. We couldn't remember an announcement, y'all. News alert: Tiffany's father's not gay.
Oh, that's right.
That's what it is.
The wife she's very young.
He's got a young child.
Good for him. Good for him.
Because we just thought he was cute, and really we probably just wanted him to be gay because we wanted to sleep with him.
Yeah. So y'all, we're at Ronald. She and her dad.
Her father, Carlos.
Our pa, as she calls him. They're at dinner, and she's asking him the big question whether he can financially co-sponsor.
All my happiness depends on you.
Yeah, she's really laying it thick. So I think this is, instead of telling you about it, I think
we're jumping in.
I think we'd rather describe it and immortalize it in another episode of Reality Gaze Theater. You can make that sync up in the later on. I like to do it fast because I like you to chase me.
I did it all with you. We was in concert together.
I'm sure it was. I'll be playing the role of Tiffany. Please don't try to do her father's accent. Just begging.
I won't.
So y'all, this is Tiffany explaining, as she's been told by her mother not to do, Ronald's quote unquote past.
Yeah, Mama said, "You lie, don't you tell him nothing."
Mother suggested she lie, and so the father will just pay. Tiffany's got people in her life who give her bad advice.
Yeah, Tiffany's mother hates Carlos, and now that I know that Carlos has a 24-year-old wife, she really hates Carlos. Really.
So they're at the table. Carlos has got his rose shirt on, and Tiffany's dressed nice. She's shoulders out, of course. Her hair's a little short. Don't love how short it's, like, kind of hitting on her shoulders.
I don't mind it. I think she looks pretty.
Well, it's in between. It's an in-between length for me.
If she's not selling a makeup line and a shirt line,
I can't believe she's not
at Kohl's. I don't know why. Kohl's is good. Kathy Ireland's in Kohl's.
Cato. That's what I'm saying. Kohl's is good.
Yeah,
she's like second tier.
Cato's closed.
Is
anyway.
It?
Yes, anyway, I don't think it's open.
To the theater, bitch.
Maybe she could sell it at Ollie's. All right, let's do it.
And scene. Dad,
Yeah, you're gonna eat those fries.
I know you've already said that you would give me the money to co-sponsor Ronald, but
yes, my love. Yes.
I need to tell you one little thing.
Oh, anything for you.
So he's got a little bit of a gambling problem. It's like over. It's over.
Oh, like
he had it. He had a gambling problem, like when he was like
at
14.
So
and now he's like maybe 20, 25. He went to rehab. It's fine.
Rehab for gambling?
It was a Christian rehab. So it was fine.
Thank God.
And he met us the first day with Daniel, and we got him out of rehab, and we got married. And
does he have any other type of records or arrest? Surely not, right? I mean, that's just
he's got a little bit of a record. Just a little bit. So,
but not anything for like possessing drugs or stealing from his mom.
What the thing was, he had drugs in his friend's jacket. You know how like people put their drugs in their jacket and they give you their jacket, and you like unwittingly like have drugs on you and you don't know it.
Yeah, that's what drug dealers say.
I know, that's what I thought. Anyway, but that's not what happened. Also,
Tiffany.
He may have pawned his mom's fridge.
A Kenmore? A Kenmore?
I think it might have been a GE.
Even worse. Oh, Tiffany.
I just need to say,
Tiffany.
Dad, Pa.
You know I love refrigerators.
You're the only one that's going to get him here. And if you know what? If you don't do it, we might have to go to South Africa.
You know what?
So
I'm going to do this just to piss off your mom.
And scene. You know, this was brutal.
It was brutal.
I have not seen manipulation like this since Andre and Chuck later on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Tiffany.
Well done, Tiff. Well done.
Well done. I mean, Carlos, he says, well, I'm second guessing what I just told you. And he said, are you doubting this? And Tiffany goes in, well, everything was withdrawn. You know,
this was great because he said, I'm gonna do this for you because of his relationship with Daniel. But he says, you know, are you sure about this? Because if you're not sure, how is this even going to work out at all?
Yes, and Tiffany says something I think is a thing that I think a lot of people that are in love or have family members that deal with people with addiction. She says, I know he's a good person,
but that doesn't matter.
And he's trying. I just want to say this, y'all. If your boyfriend is doing meth, that does not make them a bad person.
No, they're an addict.
They haven't. Yes, they are in the midst of addiction and that struggle. It has nothing to do, and that's for anyone, because to be honest, I grew up in a house. My dad was which kept me from drugs because I was scared to do it because of how he react. But my dad very much called people things like druggies and said he's gotten better with this because he has a better understanding.
You missed out on some drugs.
I know, but he's talked about
shame.
People that did drugs are losers. People that were addicted were lazy. So he put a lot of those things, those stigma in my head and society that I was too scared of taking. I didn't want to ever worried about that.
If he would have seen me after I snorted 3 or 4 lines of Coke, the last thing he would have thought that I was lazy. Wow. I could move. I got a lot done.
Wow. I'm sure that was the prequel to your movie you made, Flooded. Yeah.
You don't want to have sex after you've done Coke, though, because you don't get hard. Sorry, I'm just giving away all kinds of stuff tonight.
But you don't need to use your dick when you have sex.
But I still like to.
But that's why a lot of people, do meth too. They can't use their dicks.
That's right. I don't want to have sex on drugs. That's the thing. You really could never. That's the thing. If they could invent a drug that I could have sex on, I would probably do it.
I thought that's ecstasy. Everybody has sex on ecstasy.
That's true. You can. I have had sex. Ecstasy is a problematic drug though, because you kind of sometimes you kind of know where you're going through, and sometimes you don't, and you don't know how long it's going to last. Let's move on from drugs.
But all I wanted to say though is that broke my heart, because Tiffany, this goes to show, I wonder if Tiffany's been to meetings, to Al-Anon meetings, and gotten
I don't think
educated.
she has been.
I think the most education she's gotten about this are either from personal friends or from Ronald's mouth. Because I'm like, if you have done, not the work, because that makes it seem like she hasn't done. Tiffany's done a lot, so I don't want to. But if she had done, maybe she has. But I just feel like if she had done some research about the disease more, she would learn that says Ronald could be a good guy, but still be a fucking his personality. Of being a loser has nothing to do with his addiction.
He's just a fucking loser.
Yes.
Here's my issue. Tiffany thinks that she can save Ronald and bring Ronald across the finish line of her own will. She thinks she can do it for him.
The best thing that happened to Tiffany and Ronald's relationship is that there's an ocean between them.
Exactly.
It's the thing that's going to save her.
I actually really like Tiffany.
Oh, I do too.
And I think Tiffany.
I relate to her more than very few people on 90 Day Fiancé. I like her a lot.
And I understand why. I actually understand why she makes the decisions she does. However, something happened in her past of something where she thinks that she has to be accountable for other people's mistakes.
Yeah. Her father, who's in the picture now, who's making up for his mistakes because he left her when she was young. And that's another reason he doesn't say, but I'm sure he feels guilty.
And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon.
Exactly.
Little boy blue and the man in the moon. When you're coming home, you don't know when.
Didn't
Madonna cover that?
I don't know. Maybe.
Am I crazy?
Yes.
Don't answer that.
Yeah. The thing with Tiffany too is that, when her dad says that, she just immediately starts crying.
Yep.
And Carlos says, his mom and dad were together, and he hopes everything's going to be okay. And Tiffany's just, she's saying everything's on the line. And then Carlos kind of ends and he says, yeah, but how stupid would he be if he fucked this up?
Oh.
Like, how stupid would he, after all the stuff that she's going through? And I think, again, it's this idea of, I don't know. I hope people see themselves in Tiffany's behavior and go, wow, we've all had that touch. And so to see that you really can't save someone. And the point being is that in this next scene, Ronald showed exactly who he is in this scene.
He's such a fucking troglodytic loser.
He is. And you know what?
Such a piece of shit.
This is what I was going to say. It's interesting how, it's like that Garth Brooks song, Unanswered Prayers. But it is. Who's about to be on the Kennedy Center Honors. I'm excited for that. And Dick Van Dyke on the Kennedy Center Honors.
Jesus.
But
how has Dick Van Dyke not been honored by the community, the Kennedy Center yet?
And Julie Andrews is going to speak about him.
Y'all are watching chat tomorrow. It'll be already released we'll have already done it by the time this is released. And yes, I did think about time. Is Victor Victoria?
Oh, the Kennedy Centers would have already come on too. Sorry, you missed it all, y'all. You missed everything we just talked about. But what I was going to say is, it's like you probably the thing that you think you want so badly. It truthfully, look, you and I grew up trying to change who we are, trying to change being gay. And we were like, if only I could change this thing about me.
This one thing, my life would be fine.
And here we have a podcast that people love and celebrate. And somebody said their hospital talked about us in their newsletter. And y'all send us.
That actually made me a little bit teary.
I did.
That.
I sent it to my sister-in-law who's a nurse because she was like, damn straight. And it was very emotional. And we get all these messages from you and we appreciate them. And all of that is because we accepted the reality of who we are and that being gay, we grew up thinking that was the thing that was going to hold us back. And it was actually the thing that moved us forward.
That like flung us forward.
And for Tiffany,
like cum hitting my chest.
I start to shame you, but then I have to go there. I have to yes and it. I have to. Sorry, improv training. It's like Ronnie. Somebody said Ronnie on Crap and said
they did.
Yeah, when you go out with Matt and Jake, you're gonna get a burrito, and they're so gross. And then they laugh.
Talk about cum and the food you eat.
But
we're saying what you're thinking. That's the thing.
But what I wanted to say is that for Tiffany, she's for years thinking, if Ronald could just come over here and if he could, and this is such a problem that he can't get here. This is the one problem in my life. If I could just get Ronald here. She said this. If I could just get him here, it will save him. And she doesn't realize that Ronald not coming here, I guarantee you, 5 years from now, she's going to say, thank you, God, for giving me that gift.
We don't know if they're actually together right now. We don't know.
We don't.
I will say Tiffany is the master of raising the stakes to whatever she's doing and putting humongous stakes on. And it's like, it's completely counterintuitive for how she should feel.
She's on the list. Her... Molly, we really need to get that list of people we want to go save.
Oh my God.
She's on the list.
I want to like talk to her until 3 a.m. at a bar when I'm just so drunk. I'm like, I love you, but I need to know, here's what I want from you. I would do it. I'm like, you need to love yourself.
I would ask her to do my makeup.
God, anyway. I will say she looks great. Y'all, the next scene, she is at the lawyer's.
Devin Lugman.
Devin, I think it's Luckman with a Q.
Oh, okay.
And they're gonna get Ronald on video chat. They're like prepping for the interview. And my favorite thing of this scene is, y'all, I love Tiffany because she knows a look. And she is sticking with that look. She's still got her shoulders out, even though she put a motherfucking scarf around her neck.
She did.
So she's cold around her neck, but her shoulders are hot.
Her shoulders are hot.
I kind of screamed when I saw her scarf and her shoulders exposed. Tiffany, if you listen to us, we love your shoulders. We're not making fun of it. We call it out because you love your shoulders.
It's her
too.
brand. She's talked about it on Instagram.
Shoulders McGee.
She is Shoulders McGee. I'm telling you.
Lean into it. Come up with a line of those shirts. Women will buy them.
Women will buy them.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they're in the attorney's office and they said, let's call in Ronald. And so picture it. The screen comes up. And it's Ronald looking like a B-side deleted scene from Boogie Nights in a haze-filled room, just lounging on a couch with bad lighting.
And party lights.
And with that visual, I think it now is a time for another installment of Reality Gaze Theater.
Who's playing who before we start this?
We didn't
decide.
You can do Ronald if you want.
Okay, I'll do Ronald. Tiffany. I'll do Ronald. Yeah, this time.
All right. I'm fine to do Ronald.
We ended together because you actually raced to get to me, and I refused to change my pace. I refused. All right. You fuck with my musicality.
I don't know if they heard it, but I just played the ballpark sound.
We really need.
It doesn't work. I don't know how you can't hear it.
We're going to have Patrick Hine be a constant sound effect person at all of our live shows.
I know.
How do we get him out of his job?
How do we get him to do it shirtless?
Ooh, y'all.
And just like suspenders?
Ooh, I think that's a little objectifying.
It's Patrick. It's fine.
We'll get Me Too'd.
Oh, Patrick enjoys it.
Again, that's what Harvey Weinstein said.
We need to move on. Let's get to this scene.
Nicole Kidman enjoys it when I talk to her that way.
Yeah, I don't think so. So picture it. Ronald's on the couch. Tiffany's talking to her attorney. I'm going to be playing the role of the attorney of Doug, or Devin, and Tiffany. And scene. So, Ronald, hey, this is Devin. I'm the immigration attorney. Ronald,
Yeah,
hey,
I'm here.
Ronald, Tiffany, can you just move could you move your camera? All I see is your mic. There we are. Hi. So fucking stupid. So, yes, this is the attorney. Just thank you for being here today. I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions about, what are you going to say when Ronald, can you stop fucking vaping? Everything is on the line, Ronald. Everything.
Fine. I know what we're going to do.
So what are you going to say, Ronald?
It's very easy. I'm just going to tell them everything I want to do.
Why have you been arrested? Pretend I'm the immigration interview.
I've been arrested plenty of times. Plenty of times.
Oh, what, like 2 or 3? 2 or 3 times?
More like 10.
Oh, okay. So, okay, well.
I'm going to act like a sullen teenage girl.
Okay. What concerns would you have for the interview? I mean, is there, why do you want to come to America?
I'm bored. Say something else to make me interested.
Do you have any children or a wife? Is there a reason why you want to go to Maryland in particular, Ronald?
A homo says what?
He's so fucking stupid. Idiot.
I want to go to bed. Can I go to bed?
Ronald, last question. Do you want nachos right now?
I want you to shut the fuck up, and I want my wife to come see me in South Africa.
And scene.
Y'all, this was the worst display ever.
I appreciate that I just want to say that if you're watching the intimate portrait, that poodle did camera work. He did camera work. He his body inhabited the character.
Ronald. I
am proud for you. That was well done.
There's a lot of sitting in a chair.
Yeah, y'all. It was
like a sullen teenage girl.
That's the perfect way to describe it.
It's like, you can't tell me what to do.
And the lawyer says, after talking to Ronald, I'm pretty sure it's 50-50.
Y'all, I think Tiffany's right. Ronald is trying to sabotage this.
Well, for people that don't watch, let's just say Tiffany's more nervous. She gets in the car and calls him. Ronald, and she's like, "So, how did you think?" And he's like, "Well, I think it went okay. We'll see." He's like, "It's in gold tens."
It's in gold tens.
When Tiffany says, "It's literally in your hands."
It's literally in your hands. We talked about this before, y'all. You say, "Yep, Jesus will take care of it." No, you have to help Jesus.
You have to help Jesus.
Jesus is like me in gym class. You've got to you've got to help him in kickball. He's not going to get there.
No, give Jesus a hand, or at least a hand job,
or at least a handy.
And so, give Jesus a handy, y'all. So this is where he's on the phone. She says it's in your hands, and then he says, "Well, if it doesn't work out, then you move to South Africa." And she's like, "No, Ronald, get your shit together." And that's when he says, "Well, I just know that in the end, you do have a place to go to. Come here."
Y'all, see, I'm so fucking triggered by his masculinity, his toxic masculinity. Trigger. And I know the phrase toxic masculinity is overused, but Ronald is the fucking embodiment of it. I just want to smack his fat, big gourd face.
He triggers me the way Mike triggers me, but in a different way. But like, there's a visceral anger
But
that comes from
Mike hides it better.
Mike does hide it
hides
better. But still, it makes me very angry at both of them because this feels like it feels almost like, was this Ronald's plan all along to get Tiffany pregnant and trap her so that way he felt like, because I worry
he
about.
Doesn't plan. He doesn't plan.
I'm going to say this, and this is just speculation, so this isn't any factual, but just based off, I don't know. I worry, not about the kids at all. I worry if Tiffany moved over there for a little bit of her, I think he would verbally abuse her and potentially maybe even physical.
They've already verbally abused each other.
That's
now,
true.
I will say, if he abused her, she'd knock the shit out of him. And they would probably abuse one another, and they'd both wind up at the police station.
Yeah, I agree. This is one of the worst pairings, I think, in 90 Day Fiancé history.
I just want to. I want so much for her. She's made, as people have pointed out, she's made really, really bad decisions.
And then a lot of people, we say we love Tiffany. A lot of, especially mothers in our Facebook, really are not Tiffany fans because and I agree with them.
They don't like how she took Daniel there.
How could and that was a problem for us. How could she take Daniel over there? So
have another baby with Ronald.
So I will say,
yep.
Tiffany is not a victim in this. Tiffany, the sad thing is, I think what breaks my heart, Tiffany put herself exactly where she is.
Amen. Totally. I totally agree with you.
We knew who Ronald was since we saw him.
We all knew too, on her bang trip.
She knew too, and that's the saddest thing is that she got herself into this fucking mess.
Yeah, I
hate him.
She is one of the people who you're like me. You and I want to save her. We have this, and like Molly as well. We want to save them from their own choices.
Yes,
and we can't though. We can't. You're more than me, but I'm just kind of like, let them burn.
Yeah.
After all that,
y'all, this season isn't going to end. We've seen a preview next week. I guess the travel bans have been lifted, and Ronald wants her to go there. I'm telling you now. That's not going to go well, but that might be what she needs because they're going to go over there and they're going to fight the entire time.
Well, we saw in quarantine. It
was horrible.
In 90 Day Fiancé quarantine, they talk to each other in a way that I would not talk to my worst enemy. It was bad.
Yeah. It's interesting that Tiffany thinks Ronald's a good person. Again, this has nothing to do with his addiction. I don't think he is a good person. I think Tiffany is, but when she is with him, he brings out this really just nasty side of one another. They're just
Ronald is a spoiled child.
Yeah.
Who needs to have his every whim catered to. And if that doesn't happen, he exercises his will on all women or who are around there to give him adulation. It's really gross.
He doesn't respect women. He didn't steal from his dad.
Stole
from his mom.
He is, to me, one of the worst people in the 90 Day universe.
This is why we don't have guests on the show, everybody. That's why it's just Poodle and I. It's not really ever going to be anybody else.
We really couldn't have anybody. Y'all, Ed is not lining up to join us.
Ed is not. He is not.
I totally would have. We would have Darcy and Stacy in a minute, though. Just know that. Queens, if you ever want to come on our podcast, we would be honored.
I would talk to Tiffany, actually.
I would talk to her, too.
I would talk to. But I think people know. We're not
really a cast-friendly podcast.
Well, we're the voice of the listeners, not the cast.
Is that what we are?
I think we are. I'll have anybody on the show, but
I'm my fucking voice.
I love Molly, but if Molly comes on, I'm going to read her and be like, "Girl, why are you so insecure with Kelly? Just tell him."
I think you're right. I think we keep it pretty real.
I don't want to be an interview show with cast members.
I don't really.
But I do want to meet Darcy and Stacy.
Oh, I would blow smoke up their ass as far as I needed
God,
to
I
meet
love
them.
him. I love him so much. Oh, I just want to get drunk with Darcy. Who doesn't?
That's not going to be hard. She'll be drunk the first time you meet her.
I just want to get drunk with Darcy and guest star in one of her cameos. Like we could be backup dancers behind her.
Oh my
like
God.
She's doing a drunk cameo and you and I, she's like, so I just want you to say,
oh my God, Martin, it's your birthday. I'm so happy for you.
Happy for you. Happy for you. And we're dancing in the background. Love is love. Love is love. love, 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 love. Thank you. Oh, anyway.
Love.
We need to move on and talk about other cast members.
Do we need to take a commercial break?
Before that, we're going to take a break for the people in our free feed. If you're on the $8 tier up in our Reality Gates Extra, it will just keep going. See you after the break.
Y'all, you miss everything that goes on in the breaks.
You miss Poodle being mean to me and dismissing all of my feelings and concerns.
When I go, I don't care about any of this.
I'm just talking about the y'all. We realize some of you have said that Poodle sounds loud. And,
we're working on it.
Welcome. That's how it sounds in real life. It's just
you pierce my ears.
Something's going on with the program. We don't so we're doing our best and trying. I think it's better. But we're working on it.
I also have a new computer which is much more sensitive. So my gain is so far down on this microphone.
The same person that loved it when we talked about gobos got so excited that you just talked about a gain because they don't know what that means.
They did.
We need to move on to someone else who doesn't know probably what that means. Michael.
Y'all, I must say, this may be the first person who's ever checked Angela, and I am here for it, and I'm loving every minute of it.
That's when you said, like, I don't know if this is a good. I said this was a good episode. I said,
no, you're right. I was wrong because I was in a shitty mood.
You're right. Pillow.
You're still not getting my pillow.
This is what I thought too. When have we ever seen someone shut up Angela?
It never has. You know why? When you hit her with enough facts and you don't relent, and especially if you're a male who she may be slightly attracted to and you're in a position of power, she will immediately defer to you. It's interesting.
It's true. You just mentioned, though, like 7 things someone has to have before Angela will defer power to them. So basically, like 3 people.
Yeah. Y'all, so
she's going to, and who we're talking about is her
Dr. Sadat, who is home.
And I think he's gay. I feel a gay vibe from him.
He can Sadat me.
He could Sadat on my face.
Have a seat there, doctor. Didn't know you were coming for tea.
Yeah, sit right down on my thighs.
Oh, I just made a chest pie.
She says, I'm going to use my Southern charm to convince him to do the surgery because he doesn't want to because I've been smoking. And guess what? She's like, so can I give you my word that I won't smoke no more?
And he said, no, because you did that before and you lied.
And you got to sign this contract, bitch.
And if you smoke, you have to pay me $2,000 for wasting my time.
Which she's hitting. He's hitting her where she really hurts, which is her wallet.
Her wallet.
And
the reason is he says basically all skip ahead in 2 minutes if you don't want to hear this if you're a smoker because you'll get scared.
No, you should hear this if you're a smoker. I was a smoker, so I would need to hear this.
When you smoke, the blood vessels basically they get smaller and get choked, and so they're not delivering blood supply, especially in your jaw neck area.
Yep.
So there's a very good possibility that skin could not heal and even die, like where people's skin rots. I think that's what I was getting.
Necrosis of this. Yeah.
So and he said that's why I'm not going to do it.
I will say that's the thing, you guys. If you're smoking, and I smoked, like I wasn't an extreme smoker. Like I may be a 5 or 6 cigarette a day person. I was never like a pack a day smoker. But I smoked through college, grad school, and I quit basically when I came to LA, and I had a really bad drunk period, and I didn't want to smoke in my new car.
I was gonna say you smoked for about 2 years when you were in LA. Or a year.
Yeah, about a year, and then
Yeah,
then I just couldn't do it anymore. And now if I have a cigarette, it's like I actually get sick to my stomach. Yeah, which is weird as a singer, but
cigarettes are actually. I've read some studies when I was in school that talked about cigarettes actually can be more addictive than heroin.
I believe it.
There's, I'm not saying that. I just read some, so I'm not. But and I'm not a drug expert or a counseling expert on that anymore.
Mine were habitual things that I used a cigarette to either celebrate or forget from. So they were all behavioral things. And so if you're smoking, think about what you use cigarettes for, and get help either that way, or think about working on that part of yourself. And that's almost easier to quit smoking if you work on that than the quitting smoking part.
And CBT therapists, cognitive behavioral therapists are really great for that. I highly recommend just dealing with, because a lot of times cigarette smoking is dealing with or not dealing with anxiety.
Amen.
And so that's cognitive behavioral therapy works really well for anxiety, but it also works for thoughts and behaviors around smoking. So
right.
You never know what it's a difficult thing. So I definitely, our hearts go out to Angela, and that this is difficult for her, but it was wonderful to see her get red.
I will, and
especially for the way she's been treating Michael.
We'd never seen this before. Like, we've never seen her speechless before, and her reaction when someone actually checks her is she laughs, because it's almost like, finally, someone who can meet me where I am.
Well, she said, "You're just being rude." She tried to say that.
She did.
She tried. She tried to give him. She tried to beg. She tried to guilt. She tried to shame. And that's when that's why I think the doctor might be a little bit of a queen, because he said, "You were supposed to quit after your last surgery. This is on you." And then he said, "She's like, okay, fine. Well, I'll sign the contract." He said, "And then when you come back before I do the surgery, I'm going to do a nicotine test on you."
And she lost her mind. I loved it.
And that's when he gave her the con. She said, "I ain't ever in my damn life."
Because she knew she was beat.
She knew she was beat. And I wrote Dr. Sadat as a queen. But then Angela said, well, that actually shows.
I've been medical all my life.
Never seen such a thing.
She's actually a home health aide. She's not really in medical.
She works in hospice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's but it's
it
totally
is medical,
different.
but it's like,
when you're in hospice, you give them whatever the hell they want because they're dying. It doesn't. If they want to smoke a cigarette on morphine with lung cancer in hospice, you give it to them.
I will say, when he said, "If you don't sign this, there's no surgery," and she kind of went, and you saw the
when he said, "I'm not your doctor right now,"
and you saw the wheels like turning in her head, and she's like, "You know what? You're right. It's got to be me that cleans this up." And just because they did not give in to Angela's kind of manipulation, I'd never seen this before. She had to actually capitulate.
She did.
It was amazing.
It was wonderful. And the doctor she finally even says, "That shows me you're a good doctor, because I always get my way." And that's when she kind of realized it was up for her to do this.
Right. She noticed him as a worthy adversary.
And so it's gonna, which y'all, I think it's too soon for her to have surgery anyway. But anyway, of course, she's in the car, in the Uber. Why?
Fighting, and this poor Uber driver
smoking in the Uber.
Oh God! And has to hear her fighting with Michael. I don't think you can
smoke in the. I feel like this was maybe a production crew.
I think it had to be production crew. I think you're right.
Why are the top of Angela's tits blurred?
I don't know. I think her nipples may have been out. Well, I think she's still got shit in her bra.
From the surgery.
Yeah.
She's smoking in the Uber. Smoking in the Uber. That's the remake.
In the boys' room. Smaller than a mushroom. I will say, so she hangs up on Michael a couple of times.
Well, but she says before she hangs up, she's like, you don't ever call me. It's always me reaching out to you. I'm the one that's been doing all the work. And I have to say, when I was watching this,
more berating of Michael.
I was like, more berating. This is not true at all. We kind of found out later it is.
Well, we find out later he's been giving her the silent treatment because he's over all this shit, which good for you, Michael.
But Angela goes into total Angela mode. And again, I know a lot of you don't like Angela. A lot of you do or whatever. But see yourself in her in the fact that we do this a lot when all of us are frustrated and we're refusing to make a change of ourselves. We often want to revert back to, well, I was fine on my own before him. I'll be fine again.
Like, I'm independent. I've been a loner my whole life. I will say the reason why people relate to Angela is because she is who she is, regardless of what you put on. Like Angela is more of who she is than a lot of people are on this show.
Yeah.
And she's going to show you the gross parts of herself. And a lot of people respond to that as like, ew, that's not good. And I do too. But she's not really faking it. She's giving you full-on reality TV, which is why they keep having her, you guys.
Yeah.
So if you wonder why
we're not saying it's good reality TV,
but if you wonder why they keep having Angela back, it's because it's compelling. Because she's not going to act like she's not herself.
I agree with that. But her tits are still blurred. So she's saying that she's like, but the thing that goes with Angela's a horrible communicator. And Angela's one of those people that expects whoever she's with to read her mind. I feel like. At least
she does. No,
from what we're seeing in the edit. And also maybe, I don't know if it's a language barrier, cultural barrier, but she says, I was hoping when I would do this, Michael would support me. But I think that's dumb of her to just assume he's going to support something when the way she tells him about it.
It's a lack of her understanding of his understanding.
And some of his understanding as well. But I actually think if she tried to understand him more and communicate to him why she's doing this in a way, I think Michael would be more supportive of it.
I agree. I wrote down, and this will lead us into the next segment. There is not a couple ever in 90 Day Fiancé who has more of a cultural divergence of what things mean and what signifiers mean certain things.
So far of what we've seen. We haven't seen some seasons.
True, but they just don't.
But I agree with that.
They don't connect on what they think things mean.
Maybe they're second to Brittany and Yazan.
Well, that was a joke season.
Because
he wasn't honest with her. She wasn't honest with him.
He wasn't honest with us.
They were only in it for because both of them thought the other was exotic.
Yes, but I'm saying that like their cultures were.
Yes, but this is interesting because these people have been on multiple seasons and they still can't meet halfway.
I don't think have we ever seen people that have met halfway, at least in our seasons. Because like me and Omar, to be honest, Avery kind of changed her culture a lot for his.
Anna and Marcel.
Wow, they did compromise.
They kind of met halfway.
Can I say something?
I kind of love them now. I miss Anna and Marcel. When she would call him Marcel in every scene.
If they put them on Happily Ever After. If they were on Happily Ever After, I'd be so happy.
Me too.
Oh.
And like Huey, Dewey, and Louie are gone. So I don't know if I'd have a lot to talk about.
I don't know.
Besides,
I bet Garfield's still there.
I'm hungry.
Anyway,
you're welcome, Anna. By the way, you're welcome because we convinced you to get your moles removed.
So
speaking of, there is a mole on, I don't know, some TLC show that I saw coming up. someone's got a mole on their face, and all I saw was mole, 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 mole.
Y'all, we've been having technical errors. The thing cut out. Like I told you, we're trying. Poodle is hungry, and he made himself a straw and vodka and a half, and he's getting loopy.
I did. With my beard, it's a little long. I kind of look like Colt right now, but I don't look like that creepy like rat from The Secret of NIMH.
So let's move on to the show. Let's talk about Michael.
Like me, do you kind of miss Colt and Danielle from The Single Life and Fernanda?
I do miss The Single Life. I do, y'all. I need to post it on Instagram. In our watch along this week, we discovered that Danielle looks like Madame Mim from Sword of the Stone, and it's kind of changed.
Sword in the Stone.
So that's what I said.
You said Sword of the Stone.
Gary, roll that tape.
You know what? Gary's gonna prove me right every single motherfucking time.
Y'all watch Madame Mim from that on Disney Plus if you got it, and your mind's gonna be blown.
It does look like Danielle. So let's move on to Africa. We're in Africa, y'all. We're in Nigeria, baby.
So Michael's walking up to his Aunt Lydia, his sister.
They're pounding yam.
Didn't know you were called Yam.
Which is not a euphemism. It's real.
It's real.
They're actually pounding an actual yam. I would invite a man over to say, hey, you want to come pound yam?
Hey, you want to come? Hey, boys.
Want to go have pang pang?
Oh, gross. So they're making this food. And so his sister says, well, how is she doing after a surgery? And Michael's like, she's doing fine. I haven't really talked to her that much. She wants to get a facelift. And then
freak out over facelift.
Freak out. Well, because they're thinking what Michael said, she could use, that's probably expensive, and she could use that money to pay for a baby.
That's what I'm saying. There is no understanding about Angela wants this for aesthetic value for herself. And
they don't get that at all.
They don't get that. That's what I'm saying. This is the farthest cultural divide that we have on the show.
I agree. And they basically, Lydia makes a good point, though, because, and I can see why she thinks this way. She says, I think Angela's being very selfish, and she's giving a lot of problems to Michael. And it made me think, I wonder if they think, because Angela would say she's done all this stuff for Michael.
Yeah.
What do you think they think she's done? And that
they don't know. That's the thing. They know so very little about Angela's life because Michael only tells them a little bit.
He's honestly, he's an even worse communicator than Angela.
I agree with you.
But he's got a big dick, so she keeps going back for more.
And that's why she keeps going back for more.
Been there.
But I think that's part of the problem. But I think he feels it a little emasculating to have to tell his family about what she's doing. So because he's supposed to make all the decisions. So they're kind of in the worst of all possible worlds. It's the opposite of Candide. This is the worst of all possible worlds. That is a really obscure reference.
Wow. Wow.
And make That's going to blow out the...
Thanks. I'm going to have to fix that in the audio. Wow.
That actually hurt my voice.
Yeah, you're getting drunk. We've got to finish this show. I know you're getting drunk when you're biting your finger. That means you're either hungry or horny.
Both sometimes.
So, okay. Anyway, they kind of, that's when Michael says, well, I just kind of stopped calling her and I basically ghosted her. And that's when we learned
not the way to handle it.
Angela was right. Yeah. Angela was right in that this is not what you do when someone's going through surgery and going through Angela already feels alone and feels like she was sad about JoJo leaving and she was sad her husband couldn't be there.
Right.
Now Angela is she's going to not, She's never going to forget this and always bring this up of, can I trust you to take care of me? Because, y'all, that's a part of why she was marrying Michael, the same way you see old gay men marry young things, because they love them, but they also think, I'm not going to have kids, or my kids are dealing with their own shit. Is this person going to take care of me?
Not familiar. But that's okay.
Anyway.
Can I just get their money?
Oh, God. Anyway, that's kind of basically.
That's it.
Michael says he wishes they can make more. He wishes that they can make more decisions as a couple. And he's right.
And he does tell them how much it costs in Nigerian money, 11.5 million naira. And they lose their minds, Aunt Lydia and his sister. And he admits that he gave her the silent treatment. And he even says, I don't know if I will ever be happy as Angela's husband.
If they break up, I'll be shocked.
I don't think they will.
If they do, I will be shocked. I think he really wants to come to the U.S. I think he loves her, but I think he really wants to come to the U.S. too.
I agree. I think that's the show.
No, we still got to talk briefly. He's hungry. Let's quickly talk about. Unless you don't want to talk about Jovi and Yara.
No, we did want to talk about these people. Y'all, Jovi and Yara, it's very short. There's a hurricane coming, Shah. There's a hurricane coming. Who knows what the hurricane's gonna do? Mama Gwen gonna take Yara out of the house and go with the hurricane. Hurricane. My father says hurricane for hurricane.
That's
it makes me crazy.
I mean, but my dad says mozzarella. So
come at me if your father or mother says hurricane.
Hurricane. So Yara, so Jovi wants, because the hurricane's coming, he's like, I want you to go stay with my mother, Gwen.
Because he's leaving to go to work.
Because she knows what to do. You don't know what to do. It's going to be safer. And you do feel for Yara, because she's like, my life is out of control.
I really do feel for her, because she has had no agency over her life.
None. And she's so dependent on other people. And
she hates that.
She hates that. I think she hates that. And she also hates if she breaks her $500 hairdryer.
She says, the most expensive hairdryer in the world, the best hairdryer in the world. I will not have it in the back of the truck.
I'm sure that it's a Dyson, and y'all, it would stand to packing. It's fine.
It's okay. I agree.
Gwen's like, Lord, come on, we got to not talk about this.
Joe is like, your hairdryer is going to be fine there. It's like, whatever. I'm like, I'm going to go. And someone told me that they felt aroused by my Jovi voice.
That's the show, everybody. I'm closing this down right now.
It's like, Yara told me that she didn't want me to leave, and I was like, Yara, I gotta leave. I gotta like take care of our family. I mean, I don't know what you like was gonna do it.
Your Jovi voice sounds like if a surfer fucked Janine Garofalo.
That's
made a
pretty
voice.
much it.
That's not wrong. So, Janine Garofalo, what happened to her?
She's still around.
She is good for her. So
they're taking him to
they're taking him to the airport, and then Jovi just says, my family's very open. Yara's not. I know that's going to be. And Gwen even tells her, she's like, Yara, I did it myself.
I did it by myself too. Because I can raise a baby. And
Jovi's dad did the same job that she had, and she had 2 kids. I have to say, I think Gwen's a great mom. I know we shaded her at first because she did a lot of, because she didn't trust Yara at first. She didn't know who she was, and she was very American bullshit on her.
It's hard to be a mother-in-law in this situation, and she's doing the best she can.
I think she's doing a really good job now that she knows that like Yara is in it, like for the real reason that she loves him. Because y'all, I have to say, if you don't think Jovi and Yara love each other after seeing this goodbye at the airport.
Who knew this was going to be the heart of the season? This is the heart of the motherfucking season.
Y'all, the baby's in the car. They walk out. Jovi doesn't want to leave. Yara starts crying.
And he's like, Milo may forget who I am. I mean, what am I going to do? I kind of sound like Miley Cyrus when I do Joey.
You do.
I mean, I'm Miley. I mean, Milo might forget who I am. It's like, whatever.
Yara is like silently crying and starts in like little teeny sobs. This was such a beautiful, heartbreaking goodbye.
I don't know if you noticed this. There was a song that's like,
yeah,
you will go to the bayou. You're gonna love your husband.
Oh, I wrote
You're
this.
You're gonna be back where you need to be. Back in the south of the fair flip tree. You're gonna love your husband.
No, this sounds fucky now. That's not how it didn't go into that voice. It was very pretty and sweet, and you just made it.
You're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
Now you sound again a little bit like.
I need you to be here.
You sound like gay Bob Seger. Okay.
That was weird.
Poodle's getting drunk. I wrote, it sounds like the newest single from Jennifer Nettles.
Kind of.
It's more like pop country. Again, I don't know where gay Bob or Seger came from.
Not moves.
Like a cock. Why have we not sang that song?
I don't know. Let's end this shit. I have food coming.
Poodle is getting wrapped right now.
So tired.
We got to end this show, y'all. So next episode, y'all, we saved them because Poodle's so tired. But next week we've got Brandon and Julia
tomorrow, probably
tomorrow. Brandon and Julia with Drunk Betty.
Oh.
We've got Kalani and Asuelu, Sweet Scene. We've got Libby and her sister fucking duking it out on a boat.
They went
Libby
for it.
We've always wanted to see. And then finally,
we Jerry Springer.
Maybe the best Thanksgiving in Oklahoma ever.
This is like my dinner with Andre times 11.
This was, it's such a good episode. And we can't wait to talk about that. Go to Reality Gaze Pod.
Good, right?
Go to realitygazepodcast.com, everybody. Hey.
Twitter on Reality Gaze Pod.
I just got one today for a cameo for Father's Day. If you want your daddy to get a little cameo from a daddy, then just
you're not a daddy.
Just come at us.
You'd like to think you are.
Just come at us, and we'll help you out. We'll help your daddy out.
Gross.
We also want to remember, go to you again. Our charity this month in the Sissy Squad for the month of June.
Ali Forney Center.
The Ali Forney Center. If you're not in the Facebook group, you can go. Let's see, Ali.
It's aliforneycenter.org.
Yes, and that is spelled, just so you know, ALIFORNEY center.org. The Ali Forney Center. Again, we want to remind you this. I just want to remind you that queer homeless foster kids have different needs than other kids, so this really helps them. Also, subscribe to the Instagram if you're going to get Foodie Call. That should be dropping, I hope, maybe by that's weekend. So be on the alert. Now, we call these people lonely hearts, Poodle, because aren't we all just lonely hearts looking for love in all the wrong places?
What who do we cover? Who do we even cover?
You know.
Oh, I can tell you.
This is.
You know what to do over here? We're gonna go to the hurricane. With the hurricane coming, we're gonna see the pelican. We're gonna go have the king cake. We're gonna go have salanya. We're gonna go to the Cafe du Monde. We're gonna go to everything with the chicory.
Call us.